everybody. Welcome to Season 2 of Geek Out Freakout. This is our 11th episode, so I figured...
Season 2!
Yeah, I figured every 10 episodes, it's a new season, and we do something different with it. You know what this season's is?
What's it?
Intro music. Did you guys like the intro music?
I wasn't aware of the intro music, but I trust you.
Yeah, that's the magic of post-production. I'll add it later.
Man,
I still gotta write it.
Those bars.
The sounds.
You know what I think? You know what I think, Jeff?
What?
I missed the first season. I think they did it a little bit better. It's just that sophomore slump.
Have we really lost our way? Hopefully the writing picks up.
First 30 seconds, man, I'm not impressed.
So, guys, I'm Jeff, as always, joined by my lovable wife, Christina. Say hello.
I'm just lovable now, not lovely.
Lovable.
It's season 2. It's kind of lost the spark.
Oh, hey.
Wait, our marriage?
Well, no.
And, of course, my best friend, Spencer.
Also lovable, but he's got to, put on airs for Christina.
Now, this week's episode, we're going to be talking about The Defenders. We all watched that. We want to make sure to give you guys a week to watch it yourselves. Just initial impression, Spencer, in general. What'd you think about The Defenders?
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
What did you think, Christina?
It was pretty good.
I thought it was pretty dang old good as well.
Pretty dang old good.
Dang-o.
I would place it, if I was ranking the Netflix Marvel things, I would say not as good as the first half of season 2 of Daredevil or the entirety of
Jessica Jones?
Yeah, Jessica Jones. Probably same quality as the entire first season of Daredevil.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'd put it too. Not to knock the Luke Cage series, because I did enjoy that quite a bit, but it flew off the handle that second half.
Yeah, definitely better than Luke Cage, and without a doubt better than Iron Fist.
A million times better than Iron Fist.
But Jesus Christ, this week, a whole lot of news in geek-related things.
Get ready for it.
Some really big, crazy things happen. So the first thing that we'll go over is the disaster that is becoming the DC Cinematic Universe.
These poor individuals who have poured their lives into these films.
They shouldn't have.
Although now I think the term DC Cinematic Universe isn't correct. It's the DC Cinematic Multiverses. Because, goddamn, the worst news, a Joker origin movie. The movie that, I mean, probably way too many people wanted, but really nobody needs at all. So, Warner Brothers announced that they are making an origin movie for the Joker, starring the Joker before he becomes Jokerfied. It's supposed to be a gritty, I think the quote was hard-boiled.
Hard-boiled, grounded.
Which, you know what?
Hard-boiled egg.
I used the phrase hard-boiled 2 weekends ago when we were hanging out with Jake.
Mm-hmm.
And being the chef extraordinaire that he is, he corrected me and got very angry and said that nobody hard boils an egg. If you boil the egg at all, you're doing it wrong. It shouldn't be cooked in temperatures where the water is boiling. It should be just below boiling.
Oh,
so there's just a little factoid for you. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
We've been fucking up our whole lives.
Boiled eggs smell like farts. I don't care.
Well, I think the idea is actually if it's just below boiling, you don't get any of the green at all.
Yeah.
Like the yolk never turns green. It still is slightly creamy.
Is that what causes the fart smell?
Yep, that is what causes it to smell like farts.
Huh.
So, now you know.
This
But
causes farts.
anyways, this Joker origin movie, guys.
Welcome to Hard Boiled Freakout.
This Joker origin movie, it smells like farts too. You know what I'm saying?
When will people fucking understand that less is more when it comes to the Joker's origin? Like,
Or just origins in general.
Well,
like, oh my god, stop it.
I don't necessarily agree with that because, I mean, we just mentioned Daredevil Season 1. I think that did such a good job of establishing Matt Murdock's roots. Mm-hmm. And there are just countless origin stories that are great. I mean, you need that grounding for most heroes, I
guess
would
that's
say.
fair.
Villains, some of their origin stories, like Mr. Freeze, are incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
But the whole point of the Joker is that he is chaos.
Right.
And if you there's not a redeeming quality about him. He's not supposed to be sympathetic. The only point of an origin story is to give you information that's needed which the Joker as a normal person is not needed, that humanizes him.
Right.
And that's the exact opposite of the fucking point of the character. Sorry, I'm heated a little bit.
No, I am
about this.
too. It's so Martin Scorsese is producing it. It's being written and directed by people who were involved in The Hangover, Borat, I think Old School.
This suit is purple, not.
Like,
Sorry,
Jesus.
that was low hanging fruit. I'm sorry about that.
but like, it's set in the 80s, and it's supposed to be a crime, like real focus on the crime aspects of things. So based on what they're saying, and also it's not Jared Leto. It's going to be a different actor playing the Joker, and it's not going to be in any way tied to the other DC movies at large. So first off, that's incredibly fucking confusing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Warner Brothers has wanted to match the success that Marvel Studios has had with their movies.
They're not gonna do it.
Well, they want to do it in 3 years as opposed to over a decade.
Well, but they're also making clearly wrong mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, how confusing would it be if there was a different actor and a different version of Captain America in each fucking Captain America movie?
Yeah.
Like, that just doesn't fucking work. That doesn't work for audiences who, like, no matter how familiar they may be with these characters.
Well, didn't you say that Batman is not gonna be in the Joker origin story at all? And
Yeah, it's just
that's
Joker.
that's a mistake.
Yeah, so like I mean, there's a lot of problems. There's a lot to unpack. First off, like I said, not setting it in a universe connected to the other movies is fucking stupid. Because there's no, it's almost like there's no point to it. Like, not that it can't be an entertaining movie, and movies are entertaining to watch on their own, but the whole point of comic book movies is, I feel like now we have realized, is there are connections to other movies as well. You know what I mean? Like, Marvel makes bank because their movies are like an investment. Like, you go and see Ant-Man, even if you're like, well, I don't know if I really want to go see Ant-Man, because you're thinking, but I
What if I miss some context?
Yeah, I need all of them, man. And it pays off. Like, you're rewarded for that. If you didn't go see Ant-Man, you wouldn't have gotten the joke in Civil War whenever Paul Rudd meets Sam Wilson again.
Yeah.
Falcon, you know, and they have the little joke moment between each other. It's like, oh yeah, that's funny because I saw that movie. I know what they're referencing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that aside, no. So as a character, an intrinsic part of the Joker is that he has no set backstory. The most universally enjoyed and accepted is the Killing Joke, the graphic novel, and he does tell a backstory for himself in the Killing Joke, and it's a tragic one, and it's a good one. But he also, in that comic itself, says that he may not be remembering it correctly, that some days he remembers it one way, other days it's completely different.
Yeah, he admits to being an unreliable narrator.
Yes, because he's fucking insane crazy. So
and they even touch on that. This was one of the cool things that Chris Nolan did in The Dark Knight, was he tells two or three different stories about how he got these scars. You know?
Right. Exactly. And so to set it in stone like that is already undermining like a huge fucking foundational pillar of the character and what makes him interesting. Also, if they're going the hard-edged mobster 80s criminal organized crime route, which is what they're saying, we've already seen that origin. That's the first 20 minutes of Tim Burton's 1980s Batman movie. Like, it's just Jack Napier, crime boss, falling into a pit of acid and becoming the Joker, crime boss.
Yeah.
Right? So that's not even an interesting take on a backstory. That's by far his most boring backstory.
Yeah.
Like, who wants a Joker who is essentially exactly the same before and after whatever incident turned him into the Joker?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just as me, as a consumer, he's far more terrifying not knowing. Mm-hmm. Like, he could almost just be this being who has always been this.
So that's another thing. That's one of his backstories. There's a comic, oh shit, which one is it? I think it's Serious House on Serious Earth. Yeah. Serious House on Serious Earth is all about Arkham Asylum itself, and Batman goes through Arkham Asylum, and it's very strange, and it gives a backstory for the asylum itself. a dude named Amadeus Arkham, who was a psychologist, like early Freudian days, like very early 1900s in Gotham City, and his family was killed by a serial killer, and he shows up to court to testify on behalf of the serial killer, and basically the like district attorney and stuff is like, hey, you know, this guy's a fucking crazy murderer, we should give him the death sentence. And Amadeus Arkham is like, no, there's this science of psychology, and this man, though the things he did is so terrible, he has an illness and he needs to be helped. And everybody is like applauds Amadeus Arkham, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're such an intelligent, kind individual. And he turns his family's mansion into an asylum for the criminally insane, and that person is his first patient. And then come to find out, the whole reason he did it is so that he could spend the rest of his life fucking torturing the shit out of that guy. And he's super fucked up. He gets all kinds of other patients, but when there's a sort of montage where it's showing the different cells, and there's one where every time he walks into the cell, and this is in the 1900s, like early, he hears this insane maniacal laughter that seems to echo throughout the halls and everything, and he becomes convinced that it is possessed by some sort of a spirit. And that mention itself in that comic, which is canonical, seems to indicate that there is something almost otherworldly about the Joker. That, coupled with the fact that he is one of the few characters that, like Deadpool, at times directly addresses the reader. There's also instances where his people who, like, with Harley Quinn, who psychoanalyzes him, she ends up going insane. There's other doctors who have tried to psychoanalyze him and come to the conclusion that he actually might not be insane at all. One of the quotes in one comic is, he may be the most sane individual on the face of the planet. That he's so far, like, adapted to an otherwise insane world. So all those things serve the purpose of, like you said, that he is just this, like, unstoppable force of death and destruction and chaos. You know, Jason Todd refers to him as a death-worshipping freak at one point. Like as if...
And that's all you need to know. And not only is that all you need to know, that's all you should know about this guy.
And to not have Batman involved, of all the different versions of his backstory,
Batman is involved.
Yeah, the one thing that most of them do have in common is that ultimately Batman is the one that's responsible for him falling into the vat of chemicals that turns him into the Joker. You know?
Yeah.
So, like, we're not even going to get that aspect of it. And that is also intrinsically important, because the Joker is only as successful as his relationship with Batman. And another foundation of that relationship is that he was unwillingly created by Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why, above all else, Batman will never kill the Joker, because Batman knows, he eventually learns that he's responsible for this, and Batman knows that it's his fault that this stuff happens. So no matter how many people this person kills, he can't be the one to kill them, because it's like his fault, it's his responsibility in the first place that the Joker even exists.
Yeah. And I've always found one of the parallels between the two of them, going back to the assumption that the Joker has that he's an unreliable narrator essentially for his own life, is that I would say, aside from Spider-Man, when it comes to superheroes, Batman has the most recognizable origin story of them all.
Yeah, for sure. I think his origin story is even more recognizable than Spider-Man's.
Really?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, like, everybody knows his fucking parents. I don't know. There might be some people out there that, like, oh yeah, show them a picture of Spider-Man. Yeah, that's fucking Spider-Man. I know who that is, but don't necessarily know he's bit by a radioactive spider and his Uncle Ben got killed.
Well, yeah, I guess
what I mean?
what I'm specifically talking about is that with great powers comes great responsibility, and Uncle Ben dying being his turn to using his powers for good.
Yeah.
But the parallel between Batman's immediately recognizable origin story and the idea that the Joker doesn't have one at all.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Like, you're searching for a reason with the Joker, but there is no reason.
Exactly. And to make a movie that stars him, there's never been, to my knowledge, even a comic series that stars the Joker that is any good. You know, things that are all about and star the villains, it's not interesting or entertaining to just spend 2 hours watching them do villain things. You have to have more, there has to be another angle there. It has to be like an anti-hero, like Venom when he's doing some good and some evil. That can be interesting. The Superior Foes of Spider-Man is done as a comedy by showing how incompetent the villains are and how some of them actually have kind of a heart of gold. You can't just do of any fucking character. The last one that I think you could pull this off with is the Joker, because he is the one that has the least amount of humanity, the least amount of fucking anything good and appealing. You know what I mean? There's no fucking anti-hero take on it. Like,
no, not at all.
It's like it's 2.5 hour. If done faithfully, it should be a 2.5 hour movie of this guy fucking torturing and killing people, which is not good or entertaining. And
no, the conflict is there because of the Joker. You can't.
Yeah, there isn't exactly. There's no conflict if there's no Batman. You know what I mean? It's like you're gonna be rooting for Joker to do what? To keep killing more people? That's not fucking interesting.
I had a hard enough time with Gotham, and this is just egregious. This is like taking it to the next level.
Yeah, it's a dumpster fire. The whole DC universe right now in the movies, and in the comics to some extent.
Put it in the garbage with the cabbage.
This is a fucking dumpster fire. There is one comic that is about the Joker that is really good, but it doesn't star him. It picks up with the Joker like dropping his car off in front of a club and giving a guy a $20 bill to make sure that nobody jacks his car. And the Joker comes out and the dude protected it, and he's like, "Oh, cool." And he gives him the $20 bill, and the dude's like fucking cowering. And he's like, "Why are you so afraid?" And he's like, "I thought you were going to kill me." And he's like, "I gave you a job to do, and you did it. Why would I fucking kill you?" And then it's like, "Do you want to make some more money?" And the guy's like, "I guess, sure." And ends up spending an entire night with the Joker as he like kills someone. He helps him dig a grave for the fucking body.
Yeah.
And like the whole time, the guy is like only doing it because he knows that the Joker would have killed him if he said no.
Yeah.
Right? So he's like forced into doing this stuff. And that's interesting because through that main character in this comic, this just regular Joe, you get to learn some things about the Joker, like his whole, like, I told you to do this thing and you did it. I'm not going to kill you for that. Like, as if, and like the Joker's reaction to that is like, almost like he's a little bit offended that the guy would assume that, as in like, what, do you think I'm fucking crazy or something? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And so like, that's entertaining, but
I would watch that fucking movie.
Yeah. But no, this is going to be fucking terrible. But that's not all. That's not the only Joker movie in the works right now. We also have...
Is this one also going to be a different Joker?
This one's going to be Jared Leto.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, we have a Joker Harley Quinn movie in the works as well.
Oh.
Oscar award desiring actor.
Yeah.
Why?
So it stars Jared Leto and what's her name? Margot Robbie? Is that her name?
Margot Robbie. I actually like Margot Robbie.
Yeah,
to be completely honest.
She did fine as Harley Quinn. The really depressing thing about this, the couple of depressing things about this, though,
I was gonna say there's a list,
is that it's gonna be a Joker Harley Quinn movie, first off, and it's gonna appeal to all those fucking people who post shit on Facebook.
I want to love like Joker and Harley.
Yeah, all those fucking psychopaths.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be glamorizing an abusive fucking relationship. It's gonna be handled with no tact. I mean...
That's my whole thing, is that I was talking to somebody online about this, and they said, well, what if it's a movie about Harley Quinn realizing and escaping from the Joker's clutches, and like a redeeming story for Harley where the Joker is the villain and Harley is the good guy. And it's like, yeah, that's all fine and good, except they're not gonna fucking do that. No, they're not.
Why would they make this movie after Suicide Squad? That's my question.
They're also making Suicide Squad 2.
Why?
They're planning on making... Dude, so much news is coming out all the time. I'm not even convinced that anything we're talking about on this podcast is going to come to fruition.
Some of it I think definitely is, but this movie is replacing what was going to be Gotham City Sirens, which is also another nail in the coffin as far as I don't think they're going to make it like Harley Quinn leaves the Joker and learns her lesson, and all that stuff is handled well because
Yeah.
those things happen during the Gotham City Sirens storylines. That's when she's on her own and independent. So they're replacing a chance at having all these strong female characters handled well and in interesting relationship dynamics, and instead they're going for that low-hanging fruit of, wow, let's watch the Joker fucking smack around Harley Quinn so that girls can be like, oh wow, I want a boyfriend like that who has stupid face tattoos and
Is
robs
abusive.
banks and
Wow, I love abuse.
Honka honka.
is that what he says?
He said that in Suicide Squad, and it stuck with me.
The Joker's catchphrase, honka honka.
Well, I think he's calling, like, it's a play on the word hunk, like he's like calling the guy a hunk, honka honka.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I thought it was
It sounds like
I thought
honka honka.
Yeah, I thought it was like a clown honking his little horn nose.
God, that movie's so bad.
You're all gonna die here tonight. Honka honka. And then he like unicycles away.
Oh, Mr. J, and your unicycle.
Honka honka.
But
Jesus Christ.
yeah, man. Get it. Just fucking get it, man. Like, why
don't you fucking get it?
why don't you just fucking get it?
What's next
Oh, no.
Such terrible ideas.
in the DC Disasterverse?
The DC Disasterverse. So we also have some information about the Batman movie.
Batwatch 2017.
Bum, 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 bum. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I can't do it anymore. So Matt Reeves said that the Batman solo movie would not be set in the DC universe. It would also be its own thing.
It's so fucking comical.
Dude.
He also wouldn't confirm. Actually, you know what? Do it again. Do the thing, Spencer. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have news from Matt Reeves earlier in the week that the Batman movie will no longer be set in the DC Extended Universe. It also will not star Ben Affleck.
What?
Yeah, that's the latest update on... Oh, wait, what's this? I'm just getting...
Batwatch 2017. Ba-boom.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We got an update on our previous news story. Matt Reeves did clarify that Ben Affleck would be in the Batman movie and that it will be a part of the DC Extended Universe. All he intended to imply was that the movie was about Batman.
What?
So,
Fuck these
It's so
fucking...
stupid.
get your fucking story straight. Snip, snap, snip, snap.
Honka honka.
He,
Do you have any idea the emotional toll that 3 different DC universes have on a person?
so basically, I think what he means to say is that it's going to be a solo
He has
movie.
no idea what he's doing.
Yeah, basically, but also that it's going to be a solo movie and that he doesn't want to have any, like, he doesn't want it to be like a commercial for future movies. So he doesn't want to have a scene where the Flash comes in and is like setting up another Justice League movie or anything like that. Like, it's
But
just going to be
why?
a Batman story.
Why not, though?
I don't know, man. I think it should at least have some cameos to other Batman stories. Like, we know that the Batgirl movie is in the works. We know that the Nightwing movie is in the works. Let's fucking
Maybe.
have some of that shit going on in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're all stuck. They're all pretentious. They're all stuck up their own asses. They all want it to be so goddamn dark and depressing and dreary. And fucking Patty Jenkins is over here like, can I just make Wonder Woman 2? Just let me make the good movies, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it amazes me that Wonder Woman was as good as it fucking was. And clearly all the stars aligned for that. Mm-hmm. Like, is there a figurehead making these sweeping decisions? Or are they just giving different sections of it to different people? Like, there seems to be no driving vision. And that's always been what Marvel had.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell from the first Iron Man movie that they had a fucking plan. They didn't know at the time if they were going to be able to pull it off the way that they wanted to.
Right.
But that was what they intended to do.
No, you're exactly right. The stinger at the end of the first Iron Man was the Avengers project. So we knew for the next 4 movies that we were going to get an Avengers movie. And then we got the Avengers movie, and then the stinger was Thanos. So ever since then, for the past 6 years, it's been, leading up to Infinity War, which is finally going to happen.
Yeah.
And after Avengers 4, there's going to be something else hinting at what's to come for sure. No, you're absolutely right. Every movie is its own movie and is also serving a larger narrative purpose.
Yeah, it's been a nice slow burn for that larger narrative purpose, and DC seems to want to just get right to it.
I guess, but even not exactly, because we're not fighting Darkseid, we're fighting fucking
Steppenwolf. God.
Come with me on a magic carpet ride. But back to what you were saying about Wonder Woman being so good. Not everybody agrees, guys. James Cameron, famed film director, who has made Titanic and the Terminator movies. What else has James Cameron done?
Avatar, dude.
Yeah. Fuck, god damn it, fucking Avatar.
Yeah, dude.
I always try to forget that movie even exists.
I don't know. Fuck
don't know why
James
you hate
Cameron.
it so much,
I don't even know what
but-
you're about to say because I missed this piece of news. But fuck James Cameron.
Really? I like Terminator 2 a whole hell of a lot. I think
Yeah.
it's one of the greatest movies ever
Terminator
made.
2
I'm not
awesome.
talking. I'm not saying he's never done a good thing. I'm just saying the guy sucks. He's the stereotypical pretentious filmmaker douchebag. I've never heard him give an opinion on the film industry that's anything but fucking revisionist and stupid. Anyway,
Well, he said that he thinks that the Wonder Woman movie was a step back for women.
Oh my fucking god, he can shove his own dick up his ass.
He said that it's nothing but self-congratulating back patting.
what does that even mean?
So basically, he clarified some of his statements. He thinks that it's wrong that she is both strong and attractive. Is ultimately what it boils down to.
Fuck James Cameron.
He then went on to say that this isn't some new revelation, and that he created a perfect female lead whenever he made the Terminator movies way back in the 80s. As someone who has...
He's making
I
me
cast
like
an
Terminator
ugly
2.
woman
He
to
said-
what is he even saying?
He said that Sarah Connor earned through her struggles her place as a hero, and that Wonder Woman didn't. That Wonder Woman is just immediately from the start of the movie a hero, doesn't fight or earn anything.
Right, okay.
Okay, so
I don't know that he saw this movie then.
he's.
I don't
well,
know if
yeah,
he watched it.
Yeah, there's
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
there's that argument to be made, but there's also the argument to be made that he's framing that around the idea that Wonder Woman is just a human hanging out in the
Right.
world that we know. Like, I don't quite understand that. Sarah Connor fought and earned. I'm having trouble picking it apart because I don't
Sarah Connor fought and earned the right
to
to
fight.
be impregnated by her future son's best friend from the future so that she could give birth to her son, who would then go on to save humanity. So Sarah Connor,
Isn't really the hero.
I mean, per the mythos, in Terminator 2, she's fucking badass.
She is, yes.
But you're
She
right.
is
And
really
in
cool, but,
Terminator
like-
1 by the end of it. But no, you're right.
Did you say the quote was self-congratulatory back patting?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All that sounds like to me is like, oh, they made a movie about women where women can feel good about themselves. That's fucking stupid. That's all that sounds like to me. Because some of it is self-congratulatory back patting, and that's okay. Like, some of it, some of it is clearly
He
done
said-
in such a way to have an exemplary female character who is badass, who comes from a realm of only women. Like, that's the whole point.
Yeah, he said that the self-congratulatory back patting Hollywood's been doing over Wonder Woman has been misguided. She's an objectified icon, and it's just male Hollywood doing the same old thing.
He blamed it on male Hollywood?
Yeah,
It's
he
not
said.
even-
He said, "I'm not saying I didn't like the movie, but to me, it's a step backwards."
Because she is attractive.
That's what it seems like.
What?
So
How does he feel about Chris Evans playing Captain America? How does he feel about Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark? How does he feel about Chris Pratt playing Star-Lord? Does he want any of them to be less attractive than they are? Is that self-congratulatory backpatting, you fucking old dinosaur of an idiot?
Patty Jenkins responded to it on Twitter, and she
Good.
said,
Dude, attractive women can't be strong.
she said,
It's
James,
not possible.
she said, James Cameron's inability to understand what Wonder Woman is or stands for to women all over the world is unsurprising, as though he is a great filmmaker, he is not a woman. Strong women are great. His praise of my film Monster and our portrayal of a strong yet damaged woman was so appreciated. But if women have to always be hard, tough, and troubled to be strong, and we aren't free to be multidimensional or celebrate an icon of women everywhere because she is attractive and loving, then we haven't come very far, have we? I believe women can and should be everything, just like male lead characters should be. There is no right and wrong kind of powerful woman, and the massive female audience who made the film a hit it is can surely choose and judge their own icons of progress. So it seems like she's shutting down pretty intelligent.
God, I love Patty Jenkins. I'm so glad she's coming back.
She's bae.
Yeah, she's only finally, I think it was just a week, finalized
Yeah.
Wonder Woman as being the director for Wonder Woman 2.
She's got to get that money, bro.
She definitely deserves it.
Oh, absolutely. We may look like if they manage to turn around the DC universe, we're gonna look back at Wonder Woman as the catalyst for that.
I mean, so far it already is.
Yeah,
It basically is the DC cinematic universe.
got to use that Wonder Woman money to fund these other 3 films.
We also, as far as the animated side of things, we got to look at the Gotham by Gaslight film, which we talked about on here an episode or 2 ago. They showed off footage of it. It's the story where Batman goes against the Jack the Ripper in like a Victorian era Gotham. And dude, sometimes I fucking hate DC animated shit. Because they settle on just the cheapest fucking animation.
Yeah,
Like,
it's gotten worse.
they can't. I like the Bruce Timm stuff because that's a unique style. But when they don't do the Bruce Timm stuff, it's this weird, just like generic Western animation that isn't stylistic at all. Like, Bruce Timm stuff is stylistic in that it's very simplified.
Yeah, well, you can,
And that's
but you
cool.
can still pick it out of a lineup.
Right.
Like,
And this stuff is just so generic, and it's really disappointing because Gotham by Gaslight has absolutely gorgeous artwork by Mike Mignola, the dude who does Hellboy usually.
when we talked about this the first time, that was a big sticking point for you.
Yeah, he uses more black than anything. Like, pretty much everything is heavily, like, if you think of like a cover to a Hellboy, it's like Hellboy's silhouette in all black, and then just like the edges of the character on one side have like the brown and red from his face and his jacket.
Yeah.
Right? There's almost no color in his stuff. It's really cool. It's a really cool visual style. And this doesn't look even remotely like it. And it sucks because the first footage we got was like a making of video. And they spend like it's like a 10-minute video, and they spend a solid 2 minutes going on about how unique and fantastic and Mike Mignola's art was and praising it. And then they show the footage of their movie, and it's like, this is in no way related to that artwork you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you have done a huge disservice to this amazing artist. And they did the same thing with The Killing Joke. Like, they got some of the line work down, but they muted all the colors and everything. And I think maybe when we talked about Gotham by Gaslight, we talked about this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We did.
there's a
Yeah.
pop. You pop it.
You pop.
It pops.
Pop.
So I don't know what the fucking deal is, though. I mean, like, it can't be that hard. You know what I mean?
No, and it makes me wonder where the disconnect is even coming in. Like, I hate to sound like an armchair critic,
Yeah.
but how hard does it have to fucking be?
Give us
How
the
long have we been talking about just fucking give us what it looks like?
Yeah.
We want to see it in a movie. Don't give me a fucking black matte leather suit and then make a joke. Oh, what would you prefer? Yellow spandex? Yes.
So you think it's the same thing as like
I think it's the same thing as like wanting
in a
to
live action movie? I see what you're saying.
yeah, wanting to appeal to a wider audience, they make it into an art style that perhaps would be a bit more approachable for the average, animated movie going audience. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They take something that was successful for a reason, take away part of why it was successful, and expect it to do the same.
Yeah, I agree. It's not the story itself. Batman in Victorian Gotham.
I mean, it's a cool.
Find
It's
Jack
a cool.
the Ripper. It's like, yeah, that's fine. But part of what makes the book so good, like 75% of what makes the book so good, I would say, is that absolutely awesome, gorgeous artwork. So to take that out of it, we have just a mediocre what if scenario that's like basically Sherlock Holmes, except it's Batman.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna just roll your fucking eyes at the shit that cram in there, like when there's a little gang of fucking kids roaming the streets, and one of them's name is Jason, and then he's taking care of this younger kid named Dick, and like you're like, oh, it's Robin, and then there's like,
so is Robin.
Lady Ivy doing her like burlesque strip show with all these plants and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's like fucking, it's like poison ivy,
oh man,
but it's Victorian, and it's so cool. So no, you're right. I saw it and I was like, oh well, I'm not even fucking excited for this movie anymore. Who gives a shit?
Yep.
I'll maybe watch it when I'm really bored one day and it's on Netflix, which is what I do with most of the DC animated movies. But that's pretty much it. Oh, we did get the video game. Oh no, the comics. The Bat Who Laughs. We almost forgot to shit on the Bat Who Laughs. So in the comics world right now, they're doing this thing called Dark Knight's Metal, and
which is such a nonsensical name.
Dark Knight's Metal, dude. It's fucking metal.
Metal.
It's like widdly wah, widdly wah, widdly wah.
I can't wait for Dark Knight's Lit.
Dark Knight's lit as fuck, fam.
Lit as fuck.
Where they're all DJs. But in Dark Knight's Metal, it's a like crossover event where all these evil Batmen from different multiverses are joining forces to fight the Justice League.
That's metal.
Yeah, but that's not enough. The evil Batman aren't just different evil versions of Batman. They're evil versions of Batman mashed up with other DC characters. So, Christina, what do you think about a murder machine? Well, Murder Machine is evil Batman who is also cyborg. And his name's the Murder Machine.
I want to be murdered.
Right?
What do you think about a young Bruce Wayne whose family is killed in an alleyway, and as Joe Chill, the murderer of his parents, says, "Sorry, kid," and turns to run away, a Green Lantern ring flies down and lands on young Bruce Wayne's hand, and he instantly manifests a giant skeleton bat to kill Joe Chill. He flat out kills him right then and there.
I think it would be way cooler if it was a red.
It's not though. It's a green one. I agree. It would
just
make more
throws
sense.
up blood.
Also, if you use a Green Lantern ring for evil, you become a Yellow Lantern. But apparently that's not the case. So anyway,
They're shitting on their own canon.
I know. Whatever. That's Dawnbreaker. That's old Dawnbreaker right there. He's a Green Lantern, also a bat, also kills people.
Bat Lantern.
No, Dawnbreaker. Christina,
But he's evil. Dawnbreaker sounds like anyway.
like a good guy.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of does. Christina, what do you think about the Bat Who Laughs?
Is that Batman and Joker?
Oh, it sure as shit is. But if that's not enough,
Oh my fucking
picture,
God.
if you will, Tyrant from Resident Evil. I think it's Tyrant. Is Tyrant the one with the leather jacket, or is that Nemesis?
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Which is the one that you like?
No, I'm
Nemesis.
pretty
I
sure
like
Nemesis has
Okay.
the trench
He's
coat.
the one with the
Yeah, okay. So picture Nemesis. Okay?
Yeah.
And basically, it's more or less head to toe Nemesis, only skinnier. And
okay.
he still has the mouth thing,
What?
only there's like red lipstick on it. Because
like
he's the
just
Joker.
like the baring teeth. And
Yeah, his teeth are still all showing and everything, and his lips are like peeled back. But then there's like red lipstick around it because Joker. But then from the nose up is just solid black, and he has two pointy bat ears, and then also no eyes. Instead, he has a big row of metal spikes around his head, so he can't see at all somehow.
What? Does he use echolocation?
That's what I was thinking. That's the
Okay.
joke I made this
All
week.
right.
But so you're thinking, wow, that's a pretty edgy Batman Joker mashup, right?
That doesn't sound anything like either of those characters.
Oh, no.
Except for the red lipstick.
It definitely doesn't, but it gets better.
Oh, does it?
Because if this wasn't edgy enough, imagine this horrible monstrosity of an edgelord fucking creation, also has in his right hand a bunch of chains. And those chains are running to a bunch of little boys who are chained up in Robin costumes. The old school Robin costumes with just the green scale underwear and nothing on his legs, mind you. And you're thinking, that's kind of sexualizing a thing that was already weirdly sexualized. But as if that's not enough, you are the artist and you decide for the cover, you want one of these little boy Robins to literally be grinding up against the Bat Who Laughs leg.
I'm fucking done. I quit. I hate geek stuff. I hate the internet.
I hate geek stuff.
I hate the internet. I'm done. I'm done with all of it. Bye.
It's just the weirdest fucking thing.
I'm done.
If this makes it any better, the little boy Robins
It doesn't.
are like little goblin things. They have claws and they have like blue skin.
It doesn't.
Okay, alright. See, you still can't sexualize underage goblins, is what you're saying.
No.
Alright. Well then, yeah, that's DC Knights Metal, or Dark Knights Metal in a nutshell, babe.
I
That's
don't
the
care.
event that's going on right now. Somebody thought that was a good idea. What are your thoughts on that, Spencer?
You offered me a beer before this podcast and I refused, but
Do you
now
want it
I
now?
regret that decision. God. Like, I'm glad that I don't, because here's the thing, I love Batman. I've always enjoyed that. Specifically Batman's Rogues Gallery and his backstory. I don't give a shit about most of the other DC like characters.
Yeah.
Like, as a general rule.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what it must feel like for you, like, who not that you're super into DC comics, but you have all this context and this history with it, and you just have to watch your baby get the shit beat out of it.
I mean, it's definitely one of the dumbest ideas that they've had, but I grew up with Amalgam comics, so
Yeah,
like, do you remember those?
I don't know if I know that imprint.
Amalgam Comics was DC and Marvel teaming up.
Oh,
in, like,
you got like the Wolverine Batman crossover?
Yeah, where it's like one character that has the powers of Batman and also Wolverine, and they mash up the costumes, and they had like a Superboy Spider-Man. And
Well, that's
like,
that's doing that concept in the right way, but I think
no, that was still really bad.
Was it
I
bad?
I get like the weird sexualization of the Robins. Yeah, that's a fucking shitty idea.
But
But to me,
I can't get past it.
For me, it all falls under the same umbrella of just like
unnecessary.
Some of the ideas they have are real bad, and they do them anyway. Like 10 million BC over at Marvel with fucking Ghost Rider riding a woolly mammoth.
No, that's a fucking great idea.
No, that's a stupid fucking idea. It makes for a cool picture, but it's a shitty idea.
Yeah,
No,
I
you're
don't
wrong.
even know if it makes for a cool picture because I sent that picture to you and asked what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, but you can't deny that, like, you know, as little impact as it had on your life, you're glad that you saw a picture of Ghost Rider riding a flaming woolly mammoth, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I would have preferred it to be fan art.
yeah, exactly.
That would have been a really cool piece of fan art, not something that they're actually trying to sell me on.
And as far as the DC side of things go, pretty much the only thing left is the game universe. They announced Fighter Pack 2 for Injustice 2. And it's gotten some heated reactions.
Y'all are babies.
For real. If you're listening to this and you complained about the contents of Fighter Pack 2, fuck off. So basically, it's the newest 3 characters that are available via DLC.
Okay.
One of them is Black Manta, who is a DC villain.
Okay.
Another one is Raiden.
Okay.
People are fucking flipping out because they're like, I bought fucking DC fighting game. I didn't buy fucking Mortal Kombat X. Why you give me Mortal Kombat characters? And it's like, because fucking NetherRealm made the game, and Mortal Kombat's their universe that they made. They can put in as many fucking Mortal Kombat characters as they want, and you can shut up about it.
They're the same people who are excited about the Bat Who Laughs, but they're like, oh, Raiden in my DC universe? No.
Yeah.
No.
And some people are even mad about the third character, which is Hellboy, because Hellboy's not a DC fucking character. He's a comic book character, but he's not DC. Get him the fuck out of my game.
He's cooler than half of that fucking roster, though.
Yeah, dude. When I said
Hellboy is the shit.
Hellboy was the last one they announced, and I said, holy fuck, hell yes, I cannot wait to spend $10 on basically this one character.
Yeah.
Like, Hellboy fucking owns. I think he's a great addition to the cast. And there's nothing fucking wrong with Raiden. Like, Would I have preferred, an Ermac? Sure, but Raiden's fine. He's pretty iconic, I guess. I actually kind of hate Raiden as a character, but I love Mortal Kombat, so I'm fine with it.
You hate Raiden as a character?
He looks so dumb, and like his moveset looks dumb. The move where he like rockets horizontally
exactly
across the
talking about,
screen,
yeah.
like, oh, that looks stupid as fuck, dude. Always has.
Yeah. Ermac is bae, though. Head grab and throw.
Yeah, Ermac's pretty badass. As far as other games news goes, we got some trailers this week. Jurassic World Evolution
I'm so excited.
got announced and a trailer came out. A fucking park builder along the lines of, what was the old one, the PS2 one that we were talking about? Or the PS1 one, maybe?
I had one on PC that was a park builder, just
was-
like this.
yeah, it was
Only
the-
obviously way shittier, but
It was the same game. What was it called, though? Jurassic Park, Genetics?
I don't even remember that.
I'll look.
Something like that? Whatever. It's a park building
That's
game.
important.
You get to build your own Jurassic Park, and then also presumably have to worry about creatures, your dinosaurs escaping.
Yeah.
Is what the trailer seems to indicate, and wrecking some havoc. It's being made by Frontier, who did Planet Coaster, which is an amazingly fun fucking like roller coaster tycoon style game on PC, and I think it's going to be a good fucking game. I hope that it combines some elements of like RTS combat as far as when it comes with how you like respond to and deal with the dinosaurs getting out and stuff.
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah, I think like a park builder with combat elements. Hell yes, dude. That's like the best fucking idea ever.
And that universe is so ripe for that, and I feel like it's not gotten a fair shake at an attempt to give it the park building treatment.
Yeah, no, the internet's reaction to it was really cool because it was like someone would post a link, hey, here's the trailer for this new Jurassic Park game. And they're like, oh, okay, cool, I'm going to get a trailer for a shitty fucking mobile game. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, oh, whoa, this is coming to PC and Xbox One and PlayStation 4.
Yeah, this
And
is
not phones? They actually made a real Jurassic Park game?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I get so pissed off about that. There are so many Sims on mobile now, and it's like,
Yeah.
what? Just give it to me.
Yeah, it looks pretty fucking sick, and I'm pretty fucking pumped about it. We also, kind of along those lines, there was a trailer that we just looked at for a game called Industries of Titan, which promises to be a sci-fi city builder / RTS. And I think that those are two fucking genres that definitely need to be mashed up.
Oh yeah.
I'm super pumped about that. I mean, I feel like RTSs nowadays, a lot of them lose the allure of like what little bit of city building there was in something like StarCraft and World of Warcraft or Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your base management, there was a lot of different base buildings that you had that could be upgraded in different ways. So by the end of it, you had a kind of a little village that you had built.
At
you
the
know
end
what I
of
mean?
any encounter, yeah.
Yeah, like at the end of any decent like a PvP match that goes any decent amount of time.
Yeah.
And that's always a very interesting part of it to me. And like to just go full on with a city builder that adds those RTS elements for combat and things like that. I think they had said also that the like ships, the spaceships that they showed in the trailer, are customizable. So like you got to build your factories to build the ships, and then you got to design the ships that the factories are building, and then you got to use those ships in fucking real-time strategy combat against other like oh, come on.
Right, sometimes you don't realize that you wanted something until someone offers it to you.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, I've been looking for this and I didn't even realize it. And that's a really clever name. I'm still kind of caught up on that.
Industries of Titan.
Industries of Titan, yeah.
Because it's set on the moon of Titan, Saturn's moon Titan.
Yeah.
And also, Titans of Industry is a phrase. Love it.
I think it's cute. And the aesthetic, at least of the logo, is
Yes.
Is very golden age, futuristic kind of thing.
Yeah, it is really cool. So that's definitely something that I think we'll keep an eye on. There's been another Nintendo disaster, guys. The Super Nintendo pre-orders. Do you remember when the Super Nintendo Classic was announced and everybody was like, it's going to be just like the NES Classic? And they were like, it's not going to be like that at all.
Trust us.
it turns out it's exactly like that.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
reminded of the greatest of all Dr. Weird intros to Aqua Teen Hunger Force. The second time that there's the plate of corn. And Steve, the assistant, is like, I don't know, Doctor. I think it's going to be just like last time. It's not going to be like last time at all. I lied. It's exactly like last time. Basically, the pre-orders have been going up over the past week and a half and selling out within 10, 15 minutes. Notification systems like Amazon is like, sign up for notifications when the pre-order goes up. No notifications are sent out.
Yeah.
Pre-order goes up at 3 in the fucking morning. And it's gone still within 15, 20 minutes. Like, it's just the fucking worst, man. I would really...
They're
I would really
bad
like,
at letting us pay for their shit.
I would really like to purchase this product, but they don't want me to. And that is really disheartening. Just fucking make enough of them, you assholes. Like, you know how popular it is. Or don't have a limited, like, manufacture based on number of pre-orders.
Yeah.
Opened up pre-orders earlier and manufacture that many units.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking morons.
I'm just so consistently disappointed with Nintendo anymore, man.
Yeah. I mean, fuck them. You know?
Yeah.
Fuck Nintendo, dude.
I mean, when the first big Switch press conference happened, I knew.
Oh my god, that was like...
I knew that was the end.
I
That
wanted to buy the SNES Classic to have a cute little Super Nintendo box sitting on my TV entertainment system so I can play some fucking games that I already emulate and with ROMs anyway.
Yeah, for free.
Yeah, much easier
on a
more
machine
convenient.
you already purchased.
Exactly. And so then I was like, well, I'll just do it, I'll get it for Star Fox 2 and support them because this is a cute idea. But you know what? The ROM for Star Fox 2 is going to get ripped and is going to go up online in no time. So fuck you. I'm going to fucking steal Star Fox 2 so I can play it because you don't want me to fucking buy your shit because you can't get your shit together.
Iwata died for this.
Oh, man, dude, that's too far. Uncool, Spencer.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
Don't bring him into this, okay?
He did nothing wrong.
They also...
You would never have let this fucking happen.
HTC, the mobile phone manufacturer, I can't say that word.
Manufacturer.
Manufacturer.
Honka honka.
They also God damn.
Yeah.
Honka honka. Like fucking Scooter or whatever. Scooter.
Yes.
HTC announced that they are looking into selling off their Vive branch. They are the hardware manufacturers for the Vive.
Yeah.
It's all developed by Valve, but they actually produce the hardware. They're looking at selling it because they're not selling phones, they're not selling shit. They're probably looking at like selling the entire company eventually.
That makes sense.
I think it's a good thing overall. Apparently, I've never had any issues with my Vive, but I have read online that their customer support is fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
Like a screen goes out, they send it back 3 weeks later, they get the same unit unrepaired, like that kind of shit.
That's egregious.
Yeah. People being like, oh no, well, it broke because you got water damage in it. You dropped it in water. And it's like, what are you fucking talking about? Are you talking about sweat? Because I sweat in it. If you had designed the product so that regular use wouldn't lead to it getting damaged from sweat, just all kinds of different things.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's good overall. There's been an uptick in VR stuff. The Lab, which is the free software that comes with the Vive or the Oculus. It just comes with Steam VR in general.
Mm-hmm.
In the past 2 weeks, there's 100,000 plus extra copies of the game being downloaded and played, and you have to have VR hardware to play it. I think that's probably largely the Oculus because they've had their big price cut going all summer long.
Yeah.
Vive did finally respond to it last week. They dropped the price of the Vive by $200 as well. So
Perhaps too little, too late though.
I think for the Gen 1 Vive, definitely it is.
Yeah.
Because it still is like $150 more than the Oculus package is.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's a super good thing for the industry. It's cool. I like talking to people who have like first time experiences with VR because a lot of people have never experienced it and are like, oh, well, it's like a fad. This technology is not going anywhere.
It's based on their old ideas of what was marketed as virtual reality.
Yeah. Like I saw even just this week, this dude commenting on a Kotaku article about people speedrunning Superhot VR. And he was like, oh, wow, another Wii Waggle game. And it's like, that is not...
No, not even close.
You're going to get a fucking workout, bro. Like,
well, I mean, he's even talking about like the accuracy of aiming with the guns and stuff like that in the game. It's not even fucking comparable to waggling around a Wii. Like, it's like the one-to-one, immediate tracking. You don't fucking get it. And the coolest example, I'm helping Brandon set up his Oculus. He just got one. I talked to him like 5 times on the phone today because he was having some issues with it and stuff, and I was walking him through the technology and how to get it set up. And he was like, oh my fucking God, dude. That's like my best Brandon voice when he's talking on the phone. Excited. He's like, oh my fucking God, dude. It's like something I've wanted since I was a little kid. And he was like, I was in that First Contact game and like this robot comes at you and like your hands, dude, like you look at your hands and it's like your hands are really there in the game. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And you have to experience it. Like you can't watch somebody even like because they'll show
they look
footage.
stupid. If you watch someone... Like, if you're looking at someone playing it, they look fucking dumb. And you're like, well, I don't want to look that dumb. I don't want to put on that stupid thing on my face and
Seems like a whole lot for nothing.
move around like a fucking idiot. But you're right, dude. Once you're in it...
It's like
I feel like it really did change my perception of where games and digital entertainment in general are going to go in the next decade.
sure.
That, like... I don't think anyone who's played it could say that there's no way that part of that current technology is the future of the entertainment industry and interactive entertainment for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it's going to be this exact form, but there's something there that has never ever been done before.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, that is intrinsically entertaining and fun. We also got some crazy fucking shit going on with Overwatch in games. The Mercy rework, the Diva rework. We got Junkertown.
Are we calling the Diva rework a nerf yet?
I don't know, man.
I see where they're coming from, but I don't know that what do you want to go over first?
So let's start with I mean I think the biggest one is Mercy. I think that's the biggest change.
Oh yeah, it's a complete balance overthrow.
Yeah, so they removed her ult, which was an ability. Her ultimate ability was she could resurrect up to 5 people, the entire rest of her team. And that was a huge game shifting mechanic because the enemy team could wipe you out. They could use 3 of their ultimates at once. I mean, a lot of team fights and the combat boils down to like the economy of the ultimates.
Yeah.
Basically, like keeping them, using them when you need them, using them in good combos and using them intelligently and communicating that with your teams and also knowing what the enemy team is likely to have. But if the enemy team uses all of their ultimates to totally wipe your team and then the Mercy reses you, you're all right back at full health. I mean, that's fucking game over. Like, you know what I mean? It's taking something from losing a team fight to dramatically winning a team fight because not only will you win it because they're already weakened, but they don't even have their ults anymore.
Yeah, the argument to be made is that it's the res was a 1-button counter to something that takes communication, skill, and planning. Mm-hmm. In this case, I guess I'm talking about like a 5-person kill.
Right. So they had decided basically that it led to undesirable behavior, though, because, you know, it takes so long to build up the ultimate. 2-3 people might die and you wouldn't use it because you're trying to go for that sick 5-man res. Or you have the res up and you're actually like 2 people die and you're actually encouraging the rest of the team to die was something that some people would do.
Yeah. Or you're just going off to hide. Since you have res, you're
not healing.
Yeah,
you're literally letting them
your
die.
support job, hide somewhere until everyone dies, so you can get a mulligan on the team fight.
Right, because aside from res, your other job as Mercy is you're a main healer. So, anyways, now she doesn't have that ability. She can still resurrect, but it's 1 character at a time, and it's on a 30-second cooldown as just a regular ability.
Which feels about right to me.
Yeah, what I played with the PTR and what I've seen played is overall I think that the changes are good. It makes fights a lot more interesting. And her new ultimate, her Valkyrie form, is very powerful. It allows her to damage boost and heal and chain those together, whereas normally she can only do it to one character at a time. Now she can do it to multiple characters at a time.
The fact that she can fucking fly,
unbridled
flight, like basically you're in. It's basically developer mode. Like
the only thing,
it is.
The only thing that I'm seeing that's a problem, and they've already addressed it. They nerfed her damage a little bit when in Valkyrie form.
They nerfed her gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was ludicrous.
In Valkyrie form.
Well, it's so goddamn accurate.
Yeah, and it's cool to give Mercy the chance to DPS is one argument, but also that is not her role. So in order to feel good about themselves, players would pop the ultimate and just fly around and get some kills. They'd get 4 kills and be like, in 20 seconds, and that's the most badass thing that they've ever done is Mercy.
Yeah.
And feel really good about themselves. But from a strict DPS standpoint, it would be a lot more effective to damage boost your 3-4 DPS characters than it would be to get a couple of kills on your own and let everybody else on your team fucking die. So I hope that doesn't lead to that kind of behavior still. I feel like when you pop the Valkyrie, you should be flying up, survey the fight, see who needs healed, who needs boosted, and who needs rezzed, because you can get 3 rezzes within 20 seconds if you manage it properly with Valkyrie. You can res, pop your ult, res again immediately, because the ult resets the cooldown.
Yeah. And
while the ult's running, it's only a 10-second cooldown.
Yeah.
So
you can get 3 or 4 reses within
like 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah. A short amount of
time. So that's my only not complaint, but it's my only concern with it, is that we'll see more of that. I'm not too worried because we pretty much always play with Justin and he plays Mercy really well. So I know he'll do it intelligently, but I can see running into some issues of like pickup groups where you get a Mercy and you're like, hell yeah, I got a Mercy. And then you're in a sick team fight and she pops res and you're thinking like, this is going to be an epic team fight. Here we go. And then she just fucking flies off, gets 3 kills and gets killed.
Yeah.
And you have no healing, no boosting, no nothing.
Yeah.
Now they also did some changes to Diva. And man, I don't know, dude. I don't know where a lot of people think she's OP now. They think it's a buff. I think it's a nerf. They basically drastically nerfed her defense matrix ability
to the fucking ground.
Yeah,
to render it almost useless in my opinion. I'm as a Diva main, I feel like I can say intelligently that, was defense matrix annoying? Sure. Going up against another Diva, I've played other characters. It does suck whenever she eats up all of your damage. It really sucks when she eats an ult, but that's part of the character and part of the strategy. I feel like every character, there's a way you should approach them. The way you approach Diva is fucking get her from behind or from the side, or unload damage into her to make her use up all of her defense matrix. Get her out of the mech. When you go into popping ults, certain ults, Zenyatta already negates a lot of damage from ults.
Yep.
So it's important to know whether or not Zenyatta has his ult. Likewise, before you pop an ult, survey the scene. Make sure Diva's out of her mech. Knock her out of the mech before using your ult. That's fucking easy. It's simple.
Simple, yeah.
That's just part of the strategy.
In my opinion, I don't know where they're trying to take this character. As a fellow Diva main, my whole thing is I'm okay if you want to nerf defense matrix down to 2 seconds. I get that sometimes it can be really, really frustrating, like, to eat an entire Pharah ult. For me, that's what I live for. That's why I wake up in the morning.
But I feel like that's the point of the character.
Exactly.
She doesn't have a barrier, right? Like you said the other day, a barrier can protect
a finite amount of damage for an infinite amount of time, conceivably, if it's not being brought down. Like Reinhardt, if he's not being melted, that shield can be up as long as he wants to hold the shield up until that finite amount of damage is gone. But with Diva, it was an infinite amount of damage can be negated for a finite amount of time.
Exactly. It's not a replacement for a barrier, it's the polar opposite of it. And its job is to, I felt like, was ultimately ults. It was to eat ults, and it was to cast it over a teammate who's using their ult to make sure that they don't get killed,
provide
and get
cover.
Shut down.
Yeah.
That's what I used it for. To cover vital teammates. If a Lucio extends out too far, I know that I can boost up to him, cover him with that defense matrix, so
until
he's not
he gets
taking
back
any
into
damage
position
for a second. have him come back. It's all about, it's no different to me than a Mercy, how a Mercy has to choose one person at a time to either boost or heal.
Yeah.
It's like I have to choose one person at a time to negate damage from.
You have to,
meanwhile, they're shooting at me instead, and I have a larger health pool.
Yeah,
so
and you have
okay.
to use that to manage your backline.
Exactly.
My to finish my point out real quick, like if you want to move it down to 2 seconds, that's fine. I don't agree
It's
with
not
it.
fine.
I don't agree with it. They did give her the missile salvo to make her a bit more of a brawler, and that's all fine and good as well. But here's the thing. This was before I started playing, but didn't Diva's armor get nerfed at one point?
Yes,
like
it did.
her effective health.
Yes, it did.
Now
and,
that you
and to negate that, they made Defense Matrix more powerful.
Okay, so that change with Defense Matrix without buffing one of two things, either her health pool, her effective health, or her fucking crit box. Because here's the thing, man.
Her crit box is huge.
It's gigantic. You will get fucking melted immediately if you don't have a way to negate some damage.
Yeah.
And 600 health with a crit box that large, Defense Matrix only 2 seconds, a missile salvo worth about 200 damage on a direct hit is not going to save you from getting melted out of your mech.
No.
She's not a tank anymore.
Yeah.
Playing her on the PTR, she does not feel like a tank. She feels like a way too large DPS character who only does okay DPS, has no other real good abilities.
No utility.
Yeah, and like we said, the time frame on the Defense Matrix now isn't even long enough to negate ults. So what is it for?
Bye, Diva.
It doesn't last long enough to save your own ass.
Yeah.
It doesn't last long enough to eat up a missile barrage or a McCree. I mean, fucking anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It negates the first couple of seconds of an ult, and that's it. And then you get killed, and everybody gets killed anyway.
Yeah.
It's not even quick enough to, even with communication, it's not even lasting long enough to where you can pop it on a Pharah as soon as you hear that, and then say, "Hey, focus that Pharah down to get her down." Before your Defense Matrix runs out. There's not even enough time to coordinate that kind of gameplay.
No, not at all.
Like,
and the cooldown hasn't changed at all.
yeah, that's the other thing. It's only up for 2 seconds, but it still takes just as long as it always has to rebuild the meter.
Oh my fucking god. That's so
you
stupid.
basically
Like,
never have Defense Matrix now.
Yeah.
And like you said, they didn't give her back the armor she used to have. So no, my survivability with her has just fucking plummeted. She's become, in my opinion, a completely a waste of a pick.
Anticipating these
a real
changes
tank
from the PC. Yeah, I mean, I've been practicing Orisa because I don't think I'm going to play because
I love
I
Orisa.
enjoy playing a tank.
Yeah,
I enjoy playing a ranged tank. I don't want to play Reinhardt, you know.
right.
And with the Orisa changes coming down the pipe, I think I'm gonna leave Diva by the wayside.
Orisa's changes are live on PTR as well. I've played around with those, and I think you have too, right, Christina?
Huh?
You've played with the Orisa changes on the PTR?
Oh yeah, I really like it.
How's
Yeah.
the projectile speed increase feel? Is it
It's-
a bit easier to track your targets?
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel like it's super easy to still like get Pharah, but like
It shouldn't be.
yeah, exactly.
In my opinion,
That's a hit scans character's job, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Orisa feels like exactly how she should.
Yeah.
With the update. She's not OP, but she always felt a little bit weak.
Well, and that barrier always felt a little bit small. And now it may. I'm not going to complain, but it may be a little big. In my opinion, but
No, shut your mouth.
No, it's good.
Jeff Kaplan, please don't listen to me.
Lastly, in gaming news, well, there was we had the Junkertown map. Little trailer for
Yeah.
that. We also got
in the May.
the May animatic in Overwatch, which made me cry 10 times. How many times did you cry, Christina?
2.
Yeah, right.
I only cried twice.
Well,
I only
okay.
watched it twice.
Okay,
I cried each time.
I'm saying you began crying and did not stop crying throughout the entirety of
But
the
that's
video.
still only twice.
I just mean there's several points in the video that make me tear up.
I just cried through the whole damn thing.
I cry every time. But the biggest news, saving the best for last. Jesus fucking Christ. The plot of Half-Life 3, Episode 3, was posted up online by the former lead writer for the entire Half-Life franchise this week. Everybody's heard about it. If you're into games at all, you're probably already aware of the the whole fiasco. Man, Friday was a legitimately rough day for me at work.
Yeah, I saw you a couple times, and like there was just something off, man. Like I could tell that it was affecting you. For the uninitiated, I have no such attachment to the Half-Life series. I came
Yeah.
to PC gaming way late. I have only ever played Half-Life 2. That is the only Half-Life I've ever played. Good game, but I'm not attached to it the way that other people are.
So, one of the first PC games I ever played was probably Half-Life. It was the first multiplayer game. Like I played like Daggerfall, and I played Unreal Tournament. But then I remember my friends getting into Half-Life Deathmatch. And so I bought Half-Life, and I played Half-Life, the single player campaign, and it fucking blew my little kid mind away. The deathmatch was great. And then the mods came, and there was a mod called CS.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike. Maybe you've heard of it. Along with what I actually preferred, Day of Defeat, and Team Fortress Classic. Fuck, man. I mean, that's just a gigantic, massive accomplishment of a game. And then Half-Life 2 came out. And I had a different PC at the time, and my graphics card couldn't handle it, so I saved up to buy a graphics card for this game, and then the graphics card wouldn't fit, so I had to take a hacksaw to my case because it was a slimline gateway in order to wedge the graphics card into the PCI slot. And
Wow.
Then it killed my power supply because I didn't know anything about. This was how I learned.
This
about
is trial and
PCs.
error led you to.
So I finally got it plugged in, booted the game up, and my power supply popped, and smoke came out of it, so I had to go save up and get a new power supply. And then I had this case that had to be set on its side with the side off of it because the graphics card jutted way up larger than the case was, and now the power supply was too big as well. And I fucking loved it, just so I could play some Half-Life 2, and Episode 1, and Episode 2, and Portal. And
Is that the same reason your current case is currently on its side?
No, it's
No,
because the
that's
case
actually-
is shitty.
it's actually because the tabs broke on the graphics card.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
too heavy now because it doesn't hold it in correctly.
Yeah, gotcha. Sorry.
But
Just found that poetic.
anyways, this franchise has been a huge part of my life, and obviously Half-Life 2 Episode 2 ends on a huge cliffhanger, and it's been more than 10 years since it came out. And to have even some semblance of a conclusion, people have been like theory crafting shit about Half-Life for the past 10 years. There's no shortage of G-Man theories on YouTube. And
Well, what are you gonna do when the content creators aren't giving you any content?
so it's weird. I mean, the Half-Life 3 confirmed memes is a meme as old as time, true to say the least. And I think it was interesting seeing the internet, like, so many fans be like 2017, the day that Half-Life 3 died,
Yeah.
and people being like, what are you talking about, dude? It's been dead for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, how are you just now accepting it?
Yeah.
But I'm in the former camp. I'm like, no, I finally realized that it's just not ever gonna happen, and that Valve is never gonna make a game again. I mean, they're making their fucking Dota card game, but they're never gonna make a real game ever again, and that's really fucking disheartening and sad. But I don't know, man. I'm getting depressed now, even talking about it.
I was gonna
tearing
say,
up.
I thought you were gonna have a whole
I'm
big
not
spiel,
tearing up.
but
Yes, you are. I see you.
I'm gonna write held back tears.
It's it was a big deal to me. It was like, the best way I can put it is, it's like when you have a child and the child gets
no, he
kidnapped.
texted me this, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
It's like the child gets kidnapped or goes missing, and then like 10 years go by.
But you still have that, like, maybe they're out there.
Yeah, you still have hope that maybe they're out there somewhere. It's not likely, and then 10 years
the
later,
police just found the body.
exactly.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You know what? I actually that analogy, I accept that.
And it leaves you confused. You're genuinely, a part of you is genuinely happy to have to not have to think about it and worry about it anymore.
Well, I mean, it's a bit because you did. It's not like it's like if the body was okay. If we're just gonna stick with this, if the body was found along with like I don't know some because you got a little bit of closure, right? Like with the storyline being released.
Yeah, for sure. Enough to where I can cement what my headcanon is for everything else now.
So that child lived for a little bit longer.
I guess. I mean, yeah.
Hasn't been dead for 10 years, maybe 5.
Maybe it's like they found the body and also enough evidence to fucking find and convict the person who did it.
Okay, there it is.
Is that a better
That's
allegory?
what I was looking for. Yeah. Yep.
And
And that person's name is Gaben.
it's fucking Gabe Newell is the person who did it.
That fucking flat management. When the first time I read about that a few years ago, I always wondered how that even worked at a company like
Well,
that.
you can see the only thing that gets done is hats and card games.
Well, it's funny. It always reminded me of that episode of The Office where Nellie is interviewing to be the management position. She's like, everyone is somebody's boss. No, scratch that. No one has any bosses. No, scratch. It's like we're just throwing management styles at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There needs to be a hierarchy, and that hierarchy needs to be the guy who makes sure Half-Life 3 gets done.
Yeah.
Like, is Steam making them enough money to where they're just not interested in that anymore?
Yeah, for I mean, yeah.
Is that what
They
it
make
is?
tons of money. Like, how much more money can they need? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
It's not even just Steam, it's crates. All microtransactions as well they get a cut of.
That's true.
It's Steam trading card transactions. Like they've implemented
They
so
get
many things that they get a nickel and a dime here and there from that happens so much that they're swimming Scrooge McDuck style in pools filled with money.
It just I don't know, man. Valve is now a storefront company instead of a games company, and while I was never like. What's gonna happen to Portal, man? I want another Portal game.
You're not gonna get one.
I know.
Not ever.
I was talking to somebody the other day. They were like, "Man, I can't believe there's not gonna be another Left 4 Dead." Shut the fuck up.
Oh
Yeah,
my
what
god,
the
who
fuck?
gives a shit?
What story is even in Left 4 Dead? Fuck off. I mean, they were fun games, but anyways, all that depressing stuff aside, you guys like Star Wars?
I like Star Wars. I've
alright.
been known to watch Star Wars from time to time.
So this is fucking dramatic. The title for the untitled Han Solo movie was finally revealed this week.
What is it?
You guys know what it is?
No.
Anybody know?
I don't.
Are you ready for?
I genuinely want to know.
Yeah.
Is it Solo?
No, it is.
Damn.
It is Han Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
I can deal
Exactly
with that.
like Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Why'd they fucking keep that under wraps at all?
Right? It doesn't
I
make
don't
you
know,
like.
man.
I accept it. I honestly like that naming convention because it's
Yeah.
like
No, I dig it.
you've
but
got your
like,
numbered Star Wars movies. You've got the stories
Star
that
Wars
take place.
stories.
And I think that subtitle cheekily makes them available to do whatever they want. Like they're gonna get their Obi-Wan movie out of the way. They're gonna get their Han Solo movie out of the way. But what happens in a few years when it's like, okay, let's do something new? That's what I'm excited for.
Do you think that the Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be called Obi-Wan, a Star Wars story, or Kenobi, a Star Wars story?
Honestly, I hope they
Ooh.
go Logan with it and just call it Ben.
Shit. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Old Ben.
Yeah.
Huh.
Old Ben.
I didn't even think about that.
I was
All
gonna
of
say
us
you're
just-
kind
really-
of speechless there.
Yeah, I'm like, shit, dude. I don't even want the Star Wars story.
Yeah,
after.
no.
I think it just Old Ben.
Yeah.
I like it. That's tasty.
Let us name movies.
That is taste. Yes.
That is good. Anyways, MCU news. James Gunn talking about bringing Richard Rider, Nova, into the Star Wars fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe. Do you guys give a shit about Nova at all?
No.
If James Gunn is introducing Nova, I give a whole bunch of shits about Nova.
Yeah. He's do you even know who Nova is, Christina?
No.
You remember the Nova Core
No.
from Guardians of the
Oh,
Galaxy?
yeah.
That's basically Nova. He has powers though.
Oh.
He's like the ultimate Nova Corps member. He has like a helmet that gives him power, so he can like fly around, and he's kind of cool.
Is the accepted backstory for Nova that he was a very young boy?
No, that's the new Nova.
That's the new Nova?
Yeah, the
I
Richard
wondered.
Rider Nova is like an older guy, and he finds a Nova helmet. It like crashes on Earth.
Okay.
He finds it and has the Nova powers and is eventually introduced to the Nova Corps. Does that sound similar at all to Green Lantern?
I was gonna say that's exactly the same, but whatever.
Pretty much Green Lantern's backstory minus the actual powers are different, obviously.
And he's in space and has oculi.
Your ocula is malfunctioning. This is probably the best fucking moment in that movie. He's like, your light thingy is malfunctioning. Oh yes, my oculi. But we also got some behind the scenes pictures leaking for Avengers 4 that hint at some possibilities for some thingamajiggers to happen. Just Pepper Potts, Mark Ruffalo's The Bruce Banner.
Mm-hmm. The incredible Bruce Banner.
The incredible Bruce Banner, the average Hulk. So Pepper Potts is in a similar jumpsuit to what Tony's wearing. Like the little space jumpsuit looking thing.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Maybe he went into space. So maybe she goes into space, or maybe that's the new like undersuit for the armor.
That's what I was thinking.
Her armor, because she does in the comics have her own set of armor.
Yeah.
Her character's name is Rescue. So maybe she'll suit up. Would you like to see Pepper Potts suit up on her own?
I'm really indifferent to Pepper Potts.
Really? You don't like her?
Yeah, she's fine. But
You like female characters. She's one of the few female characters in the MCU. I thought you'd dig her.
yeah,
I was
but
making assumptions here.
yeah, you were being an ass.
And you get to enjoy Gwyneth
Yeah.
Paltrow without all the weird homeopathic medicine.
Yeah. I just forget about that. Yeah.
Her company is literally called Goop.
What?
Jesus.
Yeah. She has a
don't
company
care.
called Goop that sells you goops that don't actually help you, but says that they will.
No, that makes sense.
But I like Pepper. I think she's a great foil to Tony.
Yeah.
I think she's fine.
I think she's underutilized. I think I want to see her have a more significant role, I guess.
Maybe
As I
would
understand
care
it,
more.
that was
Yeah,
the actress who kind of. There were some. I know I read at least 3 or 4 morning spoiler roundups on IO9 over the years that was Gwyneth Paltrow not really giving a shit about the MCU anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
But that's why I was so surprised to see her in Homecoming.
yeah. She does, in the set photo, she has her engagement ring from Homecoming on her hand.
Okay.
So it seems like she says yes to Tony's proposal. But also, it shows her hugging Tony, and she looks very upset and sad. And then immediately after, she lets go, and Mark Ruffalo gives a big old hug to Tony. And Mark Ruffalo looks like he is crying.
Really?
So it seems like they're both saying goodbye to Tony,
Wow.
is what people are speculating. I've seen some, this is wild speculation, but I think it makes sense, that he decides to take the Hulkbuster armor through a portal of some kind or into space to face off against Thanos 1v1.
Okay.
Thinking that him and the Hulkbuster armor is the strongest thing they have in their arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
And that basically Thanos destroys the Hulkbuster armor with him inside, only to find out that at the last moment, Steve Rogers actually forced him out of the armor, and he got into the Hulkbuster armor.
That makes
I mean,
sense.
this is based on nothing at all, but
Sure.
But rampant rumors and speculation.
I like that headcanon.
Which I feel like would
That's
be a cool-
definitely within both Tony and Steve would both, I think, Steve quicker than Tony maybe, but like sacrifice themselves
to save everyone else. At the end of the day, they both have that same mentality for sure.
Yeah, but with Steve, it's that more than soulless. It's got to be me.
Yeah, well, and Steve is physically stronger. Like,
Sure,
I mean, once
yeah.
you rip him out of that armor, Tony can't do anything about it. And I feel like Tony would be so fucking pissed at Steve for doing that.
Yeah,
But at the same time, would go a long way towards reconciling the rest of their teams.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Instead of like somehow Thanos just killing Steve to unite the team, it's like Steve offers himself up to be probably definitely killed by Thanos.
Right. So, guys, that's pretty much it. And I guess now we will discuss the Defenders. They should have had like a theme song, right? That was like old school that said the name.
Yeah.
Why don't we have that as a thing anymore in entertainment? Nothing has that in it now that I think about it. You know what I mean?
There are no.
Jesus
There's no.
Christ.
You're a pal and a confidant. Like,
It's just four friends in New York, defending New York. Da 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 da. Defenders.
thank you for being defenders. Travel down the hole and up again.
So, guys, defenders. What were they defending exactly?
New York in general, which I
yes.
thought was pretty cool. Like, I didn't know how big they would make the stakes, but it seemed as if they were trying, like, just as much as the Battle of New York with the Avengers was a threat to New York,
Right.
that this was just as large of a threat just from the inside.
So I didn't quite gather exactly what the threat to New York at large was. Was it?
Yeah.
Madame Gao, okay, so they mentioned Chernobyl,
Right.
and they mentioned Pompeii.
Right.
And then Madame Gao, I think in the second to last episode or the last episode, was basically saying once the substance that they need is removed, the city would collapse for some reason.
That's what I was thinking. So what they're implying, because the substance, as we find out in the last episode, is a dragon. It's a dragon's bones.
Yeah.
Would you look to draw some dragon bones?
God damn it. Every time.
the first
We
time
talk about
thing he
Bethesda not letting Skyrim die, but we certainly won't let it die either.
No, we won't.
Would you like to buy some dragon bones?
Would you like to chop some wood?
But anyways, so basically what they're suggesting is that those dragon bones are supporting the entire island of Manhattan.
Yeah.
So
I am fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Like, here's the thing. I can't pick and choose what I'm willing to suspend my disbelief for. There are
Yeah.
a lot of people who are pissed off at Game of Thrones right now because the timelines have gotten all wonky. Like, it takes them within 5 minutes of an episode to get from one side of the world to the other, kind of thing. I don't give a shit. Like, it's a fantasy show. Like, if you're gonna suspend your belief for X, you can't leave out Y and Z.
what did you think about the dragon though? Like when you finally saw what it was, I was like, oh, huh. You know what I mean? Oh, well, that's okay then. That's a dragon there.
I had the distinct desire for it to be something else,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it didn't ruin it for me because that's not what I was there for the show for.
I literally said, "Have you ever seen a dragon before?"
Well, I was okay. So
mean-
I was confused about the dragon itself and its skeletal system, because there's that one shot where you see like the head and like the wings, but then it seems like there's miles of
I assumed that it was
Rib
different
cage.
dragons.
Yeah, there's rib cage everywhere.
right. So are the dragons in the MCU in possession of no legs, just arm wing things, a head, and then really long? But I guess that's what the dragon on Danny's chest looks like.
Exactly, and that would follow the general Eastern presentation of a dragon.
Well, I think most Eastern dragons don't have wings at all. They're like
They're just serpentine beings.
yeah, it's like Shenlong from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
But I guess I didn't even think about it. The Xiao Lao on Danny's chest is his Sharpie tattoo. It is just a head and wings and then a really long snaky tail.
Yeah.
So maybe that is the case.
No,
but-
it makes sense. Yeah, it was not like a Skyrim dragon or a Dungeons and Dragons dragon.
But I don't know. I thought it was a little strange.
I thought it was a little strange, but I for some reason it was a momentary thing for me before I
Yeah.
was back to like you know.
It also made me even more angry at season 1 of Iron Fist because we never fucking saw the dragon.
Yeah.
And I feel like they implied that there wasn't really a dragon. Remember, he has
that it was metaphorical.
yeah, he has that speech where he's like, so you went in Iron Fist, not in Defenders, where he's like, so it was a dragon. He's like, well, it wasn't what I thought it was.
But then in Defenders, he tells Luke, I plunged my fist into the molten heart of an actual dragon.
Right, and then we see dragon bones.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, so they're real. what did you think it was? Because it seems to be like you actually did fight a dragon.
Yeah.
And also, if the dragons are that big, and Danny was able to kill one, why does he suck so bad?
Why does he suck so bad? Like, good fucking God. I don't know if it's the writing. I don't know if it's the way it's being presented to me. I don't know if it's Finn Jones' piss poor I don't think he's that great of an actor.
I don't think he's very good either.
He has one mode when he's playing Danny Rand. Like, again, I've mentioned on the podcast before, I know you guys don't give a shit, but he was on Game of Thrones, and he showed depth on Game of Thrones. And there's just none of that here. It's like he thinks of Danny Rand, this character that he's trying to portray, as just a pissed off, angsty child. That's the only dimension that he, as an actor, has given to that character, and it sucks. Because everyone else is pulling their fucking weight. Listen, I sent this text to Jeff the other day when I was, like, maybe in the middle of the season, and the text simply said, Charlie Cox is so goddamn good. Mm-hmm. And he is Matt Murdock, and he carried so much of it for me. I really enjoy Kristen Ritter's portrayal of Jessica Jones. I think she gets that conflicted nature down really well. You can tell in her face and in the way that she delivers most of her lines that, like, Jessica feels the need to seek this out. It's just, man, she
really doesn't want to.
Yeah.
I feel like the character of Iron Fist in the Netflix series, as much as he says his sole purpose is to defeat the Hand, I actually feel like his sole purpose is just to try to convince everybody, the viewers including, that he is actually Iron Fist.
That makes that, that's a really good way to articulate it, actually.
It's like, I can't convince you that by showing you that I'm a competent Iron Fist.
So I'm going to say I'm the immortal Iron Fist and Kunlun as many times as I possibly can.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying. He's so annoying. And I like him a lot better when he's teamed up with Luke in Defenders.
Yeah,
that is really cool.
When he has a more grounded foil to call him on his dumb, obnoxious crybaby bullshit.
And it's not Connie who's in all of it with him.
And Luke has an air of, like, not being too condescending to him. It's just like, you're a dumb crybaby, but, like, you know, we're friends. We're cool. You're a cool guy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm fine here.
Yeah.
I'm not upset being here. And I think the little, nods to Heroes for Hire that they gave us, like that when it's just Danny and Luke in that conference room for a minute. That was great. That was great. They complimented each other so well. Kudos to the fight choreographers, especially for that one.
How did you think about the action sequences overall?
They varied wildly for me. I don't know if I can give it. Some of them were really dumb. Like, even like if you take like the hallway fight that took place right after that scene that I'm talking about was miles worse.
I think they wanted to create that first really badass hallway fight.
The stairwell fight?
Yeah, well, in Daredevil.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a hallway fight in every MCU.
Right, but I think
Netflix thing.
I don't think they got it. They still haven't got it since that first one.
Yeah, the closest they came was season 2 of Daredevil's hallway fight when he has the chain wrapped around his hand and he's smashing the lights out. But even that was not as good as
my God,
that very first one.
That was lightning. That was catching lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
That's one of the best fight scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like the action sequences, specifically in the very last episode of Defenders, were real bad.
Yeah.
The last episode fucking kind of sucked.
Yeah, I'll give you that much. Especially from an action standpoint, and until you get to the back half of the episode from like a plot standpoint or a dialogue standpoint.
Yeah. It relies so much on Danny being a fucking idiot, dude.
Yeah,
if Danny wasn't fucking stupid, they wouldn't be in the problems that they were in.
Well, I also hate that a lot of the Defenders revolved around Danny. Like, I get...
Specifically him being dumb.
Yeah, well, I get... And specifically being dumb, but not even that. Just, like... I wanted to see less of him. And I never want to feel that way.
What I hated the most was in the last episode when Elektra Nachios wheels him down to the fucking door, and she fucking supervillain monologues and basically says flat out, I need you to use your Iron Fist to break down
Right.
this wall.
Oh my
That's
God.
the only way we'll be able to get in here and the hand can win.
Yeah.
And he's like, I will never do that. And then she's like, well, you're a whiny little bitch. And then he's like, Iron Fist hand, here it comes. Like,
Yeah.
what are you fucking doing, dude?
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
moves out of the way to dodge his moves to make him hit the wall. And it's just like,
Just don't
Just
focus
don't
your
do
chi.
it. Just don't
don't.
do it.
Yeah, just
The one-
fucking sit there.
you do it there's so many times when it's like, dude, why don't you use your fucking Iron Fist that you have? And he doesn't. And then this one time, don't use it. And he fucking does. It doesn't take anything to convince him to do it.
Yeah.
Like, she insults him one time. And he's like, well, here I go. Iron Fisting.
Yeah.
And he fucking... Why did he completely forget that he can also heal people with it?
Right.
Yep.
There was like 5 different times he probably could have used that.
Yep.
Probably could have saved poor Stick's life.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
No, because he got taken away. Because he's an idiot.
Oh, that's true. He did get captured. Yeah. So he couldn't have saved Stick. But
Again,
whatever.
because he's an idiot.
Like, oh, he's so bad. I do not think that they should do a season 2 of Iron Fist, and I don't think they should do a season 2 of Luke Cage. I think they should go straight to Heroes for Hire.
Yes.
I think both characters are more interesting together.
Yeah. I think it really could work that way.
Yes,
Because
absolutely.
it seems like being in the scene with, and I always forget this actor's name, but with the actor who plays Luke, makes Finn Jones a better actor. Mm-hmm. Like, or perhaps it's just the writing, that the writers are better having him go off of Luke and Luke bounce off of him, or what. But, man, it got to the point where I wanted to skip any scene of just Danny and Connie or something like that. Like, I actually wanted to just move past it.
I was on board with Stick's plan for killing Iron Fist.
Me
Like,
too,
hey,
me
then
too.
then the hand lose. We're all fucking fine here. I'm for it, guys. I don't know about the rest of you.
Can we talk about that scene though? I thought that was really well done. With the buildup of over an entire episode of Luke, like, or Danny asking Luke, "What's he doing over there?" And it's just Stick, and you get a shot of him drinking this weird liquid out of a tiny little bottle, and he's sitting there meditating.
Yeah.
It skips. I mean, we see Jessica and Matt for a little bit. Comes back, and he's like got a charcoal that he's lighting and giving a little monologue. We go back, we see Jessica, we see Matt, we see Elektra and Alexandra, and then they come back and Luke's having that long conversation with him about incense. And all of a sudden you can tell, like, wow, it's getting really smoky in there, and holy shit, what's going on? Oh my god. Oh shit, Stick drank an antidote and is fucking poisoning him to pass out. Thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really well done pacing of it, and it makes sense for Stick's character. It's like, no, this kid's gotta fucking die. Like, that's just all that matters. Let's take away this variable once and for all.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and it, like I said, it made sense to me. He already, if his job is to protect Kunlun and defeat the hand, well, he already failed to protect Kunlun. So all that's left is to defeat the hand.
And if
fucking defeats him.
Yeah, Iron Fist is dead, they're all gonna die. He is the key to their immortality.
Yeah.
They're all gonna die. Let's see.
So the earthquake in season or in the end of the first episode, was the earthquake supposed to be the hand somehow trying to breach that wall?
Yes, because
Like using
Alexandra
some
tells
explosives or something.
yeah, because they don't seem to realize that they hit an impasse until the next episode or the episode after that.
Right.
And Alexandra finds out that she is dying very quickly and says we have to speed up. So clearly their plan all along was to get the Drugenboons out of New York.
Right.
But having to speed it up means they have to use some more aggressive means, which means that, you know, it's going to fuck up New York a bit more than they intended until the final. Like, it's clear to me that they intended to be as quiet as possible until the city falls, and no one would even know that anything strange was happening, and the city would just fall. So that's what I got from that. Sigourney Weaver's performance. What do we think?
She was pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked her in it a lot. I don't think she gave it her all.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, but I don't think that it was a bad performance either. I think that Sigourney Weaver was fine being Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
and that's just fine.
The most badass she ever was for me though was in the very first episode, just because.
Just the way she talks to Madame Gao.
Yeah, because Madame Gao's been this one constant throughout all the shows, and she's so immediately subservient to her in the park. And I was like, what the fuck? There's someone who can talk down to Madame Gao?
Yeah.
And I think that was a lot of the weight of her character came from that.
I thought that it was really disappointing finally seeing Madame Gao fight, because I've wanted that for so long.
Yeah.
And that apparently all it boils down to is, what does she do? She's like, she does that thing with her
She
hand.
uses
It
the
seems
force.
like all finger.
It's like a force push, right?
Yeah, but it seems they showed us that with the other 4 fingers of the hand, which sounds ridiculous to say. But they all had that as well. It appeared to me.
Did they? I didn't.
Yeah.
I felt like
At
she was the
least-
only one that could do it. Because she wouldn't even make contact with an object.
I
and it
know.
would go sliding across the room. I didn't notice anybody else do that.
I saw Alexandra do it, and the one guy who I forget his name. It's not Bakuto, and it's not the African warlord. It's,
the Japanese guy.
the Japanese guy,
That's
which
just kind of really introduced, and it's like, oh yeah, there's 2 other guys.
yeah. But here's the thing: he's a great actor. I really loved his performance. Like he seemed to me to be very terrifying. Like I don't know. I wanted to see more of that guy speaking Japanese.
I don't know, man. I wanted to see less of all of them. I just fucking hate.
I
them.
just wanted more of Madame Gao.
Yeah, Gao's
Because I
great.
really like Gao a lot. The other ones,
What'd you guys think of how they brought everybody together in those first 4 episodes? You think that was done well?
I think they did really well, yeah.
Yeah,
I
mean,
wish
I'm
it would
glad
have
that-
happened a little bit sooner.
I'm
but
glad that it ultimately boiled down to like Claire making some phone calls.
Yeah.
I love Claire.
Like, because like anything other than that, and I wouldn't have bought it as much as what I got, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Because we've sat through 5 seasons of 4 different shows. Being like, why does Claire not tell these people that they all exist?
Right?
Yeah.
Why is she even doing this? And then finally she's like, okay, like I know these like 3 other superheroes. Let me just give them all a call, get them all together.
She even has that look about her when she first introduced, when she finds out that Luke got hit by a guy with a glowing fist. She's like,
Shit, okay, they met.
and then she even sighs and goes, "There's someone you need to meet."
Yeah.
I get the feeling that Claire wants out, but is realizing now this
That it's
this
just not
show
possible.
that she's in it. She can't remove herself from it, even if
Right.
she wants to. She's in it, so she might as well play the role that she needs to play.
Oh, we haven't talked about this at all. How pumped are you to see Misty Knight get her fucking arm cut off?
Oh shit!
And then getting the badass cybernetic arm.
Misty Knight's been a hoot. She's been a treat.
Yeah, I like her a
I
lot.
like her a lot too. She's real cool.
I think we'll definitely get a full-on Daughters of the Dragon in one of the shows now, with her with her cybernetic arm and everything. Do you think they'll go all in with the cybernetic arm?
Yeah, I think
It's weird. I feel like, because we know that I don't know, it's that disconnect between the movies and the TV shows as far as the MCU goes.
Mhm.
So I feel like we haven't seen anything in the shows that hints that level of technology exists, even though in the movies we wouldn't bat an eye at somebody getting a super advanced robot arm.
Yeah.
But in the show, is that going to seem out of place to you? Like,
In Luke Cage, they had exploding alien sniper rounds. Like it seems like it's in the
That's
same.
true,
it's in
they
the
did.
same
That's
vein to
true.
me.
I
There's
forgot about
there's
that.
a lot that they can fix by saying "Blah, alien technology left over from the Battle of New York. Like that was literally the plot of Homecoming.
yeah.
So I think they could get away with that, no problem. And I think that they should try to. I mean, they didn't do Iron Fist the way that I would have done Iron Fist, but I think having that show opens up to like some more wacky shit.
Yeah.
Like magical stuff.
Well, magical stuff, but also like non-magical stuff that is on the level of that magical stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
I really liked some of the banter. I think Jessica and Matt work really well off of one another.
Yeah.
Dude, her line, "I'll punch you so hard you'll see," is the best line in the
Yeah.
fucking show.
Yeah, and I also really liked, you can see the differences between those two characters and the differences between the way their shows are run. Specifically when they both go into Midland Circle for the first time together. And Matt throws on her scarf and jumps up the fucking fire escape and
then
into
both
the
of
stairwell.
them arrive at the same time.
And then
Yes.
she walks out of the elevator and just goes, "You look like an asshole."
I loved the little sequence where he's like tailing her, and then she loses aim and starts tailing him.
Yes.
That was fucking cool. I think my biggest gripe is not making it clear what their powers are and how strong they are as characters.
I think that revolves around Jessica. Like that.
I feel that way about all of them to an extent.
I feel that way
except for Luke.
I feel that way about Danny.
Yeah. I
too.
feel like the only one that I know exactly what their capabilities are is Luke. Like, I know exactly how strong he is, exactly what he's impervious to. That doesn't seem to waver or change. But, like you said, Jessica... Okay, at the end of Jessica Jones Season 1, she flies, right? Like that thing when she leaps all the way across that room.
That was my impression, because we
that she
talked
was
about that
finally
when we
getting her
both
flight.
watched it. Yeah.
She was finally getting her flight back. She doesn't even give a jump in this one.
No, definitely
Remember,
not.
She does jump at the end.
to grab that cable. Presumably, you don't even see that happen.
Yeah.
But remember at Season 1 when she's
No,
like
I
breaking
know.
into buildings and
I
she
know.
leaps like 4 stories up the side of a building to get into the window via the fire escape.
I understand.
And she jumps back down and shows that she's fine.
I know.
So if she can land from 4 stories and not receive any damage, then she also has her endurance, which is something that she has. She's not just super strong, she also...
She can take a fucking hit.
Yeah, like, you break a beam over her head, it's not going to really phase her. She's not bulletproof, but she seems like she gets hit pretty easily in this.
I feel like they did 2 things when they only should have done 1. Like, it's obviously presented to us that Elektra is at a level which she can fuck up any member of the Defenders, pretty much.
She's able to hit Luke and make him stumble.
Yeah, but at the same time...
Who is a character who got hit by a speeding car earlier in the show and is fine.
Yes. So I think that that's a good way to like kind of balance the fact that you have 4 incredibly powerful individuals is to make Elektra just this like cell essentially.
Right.
But what they also did, it appeared, was severely underpower at least Jessica and Danny a couple times. Like, I still don't fucking understand why you're the Iron Fist. Like, just use it all the time. I get that you have to focus your chi.
And
I
it takes
understand
a lot
that.
out of him and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't. Is that even present in the comics?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, like if he does like a real crazy move with it, yeah, he can be without it for a period of time, sometimes up to a full day.
Okay.
But like, he doesn't even do anything that crazy with it in the show.
No, not at
nothing
all.
on the level of what Iron Fist does in the comics. So no, this should not be any level of effort for him at all. What we see, and he should be able to keep it lit at all times during a combat sequence. Instead, it's like he's able to.
He
use it for one-
He does at the end.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah, in the very last fight, he does. But
Yeah.
it still seems like he only gives one actual Iron Fist punch.
Yeah.
Which is the one that breaks open the door. And like,
I think they could have written it differently and choreographed some things differently to showcase all of them in their incredible strength, in their incredible abilities, still unable to take down Elektra with ease.
well, you see, here's the other thing though, is like, okay, if Danny Rand has been raised by these magical monks his entire life since he was 8-9 years old.
Yeah.
And every waking moment of his life, as we've seen, has been dedicated to teaching him how to master martial arts. He should be able to fucking go 1-to-1 against Daredevil.
Yeah.
He should be, even if he didn't have the Iron Fist power, he should be a better fighter than Daredevil. Now, I know that Daredevil has his heightened senses. I get that.
And he was also trained by Stick, who we're
right, but
led to believe
Stick only trained him for a period of what? Just a couple of years, right? Because it showed that he was in college when he met Elektra and then met Stick in season 2.
no, because Stick. There's a scene of Stick and Matt as a
true.
young boy.
That's true, and then he ends up leaving him when he was a boy.
Yeah,
That's right. Still,
but at best that adds a little bit more time.
Right,
Not his entire life by any means.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they seem to be relatively the same age, right?
Yeah. Maybe Danny's a bit younger than Matt, but yeah.
And then also he does have the Iron Fist ability, which goes a long way. He possesses super strength when using the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Which is not something that Daredevil has. So Daredevil's able to go toe-to-toe against every single one of them. Daredevil can go toe-to-toe against Elektra, who can fucking knock out Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Who can receive a hit from a speeding car.
Which doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's my whole point, is that it should have been written differently to showcase all of these things and not have to underpower anyone, including Elektra, at any given point in time.
It should have been a scenario, I feel like, where if we want to show Daredevil and Elektra go toe-to-toe on equal terms, but maintain her strength level and stuff, he should just be avoiding her hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how strong she is because she can't touch him. But he's still not able to do much against her.
Or one thing that he did really well in his own show was create a setting where he would have an upper hand.
Yeah.
Be that complete darkness or, what have you. Like, he was just okay with facing her at face value at any given point. And since that was what they had written in, they did a fight scene and they had to just make it look like a regular fight scene because of the way that was done.
Yeah, I feel like somebody who just watches The Defenders and hasn't watched any of the other shows would assume that Daredevil has, he's
super strength or something.
Super fast, he's super durable, he's the most powerful one out of the group, definitely, without a doubt.
And I think Netflix knows that that's their flagship show.
Yeah.
The Marvel Netflix shows. I think they know what they have in Daredevil and they know what they have in Charlie Cox, so a lot of it revolved around him and maybe they gave him a bit more than they should have compared to the other characters. I think it all comes down to they had the best of intent and they knew what they wanted to come in and do, and they did a lot of it well, but a lot of the execution was not good.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, overall, I really liked it.
There were a lot,
It was a lot better than Iron Fist, a lot better than Luke Cage, better than the second half of season 2 of Daredevil.
There was a lot of singular moments that carried the overall arc for me.
Yes, every moment involving Stick was fucking badass.
How is it you described it to me the other day? That it was like...
I kind of... I feel like I hate the actor who plays Stick.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's like a drunken redneck who just stumbled onto the set and started reading the lines, but also somehow it manages to work for the character.
Yeah.
Like, he is Stick.
He seems like such a fucking, weird...
Piece of shit.
Yeah, which that's part of the character, but also...
His delivery's weird.
His delivery is very... His delivery makes him seem like he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And, he's just so aloof. Like his fucking escape, dude, when he's tied up and they're like, you're gonna die here tonight. And, I wouldn't count on it. Boop, his hand's gone. They turn around, whoop, he's gone in the vents already.
And it even has that stereotypical cheesy, hanging from one screw, swinging to side,
yeah, dude,
vent.
There's no pained look on his face when he cuts his hand off. And it just...
Because he's been trained at Kunlun.
I get that.
Torturous.
But it's like it was a removable hand that just pops right off, and he's like, "Whoop, it's gone now. Here I go. I'm stumbling out of here." And I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I feel like he's always drunk. Yeah.
It's like fucking Rick from Rick and Morty being in the Defenders somehow.
Yeah.
Well, what are we gonna do, Stick? Fucking the hand, they're gonna destroy New York City. Well, now listen, guys, we gotta kill the Iron Fist. I mean, that's the only way, Natty. That's my Stick.
That's good. It's a good Stick.
It sucks that he fucking died though, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of really good moments. I did like seeing them all together at the diner eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like that was necessary, and they gave us a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like, they really let that scene ride and didn't rush it. I liked that a lot.
I'm excited for where the shows are going to go from here. There are some things in the news this week that I wanted to save, like I said, until now. Finn Jones was interviewed, and he said that he is under the impression that he is going to get the costume in season 2.
Okay.
He also said that it starts filming a couple of weeks from now, and that he's already started training for the fight choreography.
Okay.
Which, I don't know if you know this, but season 1 of Iron Fist, there was no practice for the fight choreography.
Yeah, I read that after I watched it, and I was like, well, that seems like the source of a decent amount of your problems.
Yep, they were just like, when they went to go shoot the scene, the choreographer was there on set and was just like, so you do this and this and this, and then they would film them doing that like the first time, and then like, okay, now do this and this and this, block this move, hit here, and they would film that. They never
that's a mistake.
like a good fight sequence, like a Jackie Chan level fight choreography. They spend months going over fight scenes, like where the whole scene is memorized, like an actor would memorize their lines, like each step, each move.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot more of that, he confirmed, which it's cool. I mean, he directly addressed that, like, hey, I know the fight choreography fucking sucked, but we're going to make sure that doesn't happen this time. He's actually learning Kung Fu, which he didn't do. Like, the people who, like Keanu Reeves, when he did The Matrix, months prior, he learned martial arts, like, all the way through, like a hardcore fucking course, so that he could believably act like someone who knew martial arts.
Who just
right?
had martial arts
Right.
jacked into their consciousness.
Yeah, and that's always, I mean, almost always the case with hand-to-hand action sequences. Like, if it's a fighting style, the person learns the fighting. Same as in a Star Wars movie, they do fencing classes and stuff, and sword fighting classes before they even begin filming
For
lightsaber.
Yeah, for
combat.
Gamora and Nebula in the first Guardians movie, even it was 6 to 8 months before filming began. Zoe Saldana was posting on Instagram about training with a martial arts teacher.
Yeah. So Finn Jones didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
For season 1, which hopefully that'll make season 2 a lot better and a lot more interesting. Also, obviously, the very end sequence with Daredevil in the what's it called? What's the place called where there's nuns?
Convent.
A convent, yeah.
Before you get into it, because I actually don't. It surprised the hell out of me when I didn't see Matt come through the door. Like I honestly expected. I was like, okay, they were gonna
make you wait for it.
They were gonna make me wait for it.
He comes in and he's like beat to fucking hell, but he still comes through the door.
When they had me convinced that he was dead, and I saw Karen and Foggy's reaction, I legitimately like got tears in my eyes and got a lump in my throat. I was I can't have this. I cannot believe. And in the back of my head, I was like, there's no way they're gonna just not do Daredevil anymore. That's their fucking biggest Marvel Netflix series.
Yeah,
but it hit me so hard. And I think that's a testament to both how they've built that character and Charlie Cox's performance. Like, I think
Foggy and Karen's
and
Yeah.
Foggy and Karen. Yeah.
They do a good job in that scene too. I really fucking like Foggy a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah.
I really like both Foggy and Karen.
That fucking avocado, man.
Avocado's at law.
He's my favorite avocado, Senor Foggy.
But that scene at the end, though.
When he's laying in the bed, yeah, you said that is indicative of a storyline in the comics?
Yeah, so that is the Born Again plot. That's straight out of a panel where he is found unconscious. In the comics, he's thrown into the East River.
Okay.
And left for dead and pulled out and wakes up in a convent. The nun says, "Go, he's awake, go get Maggie," which is what they say.
Okay.
Maggie is Daredevil's mother.
Really?
Yep. So you finally learn about his mom, who's never really mentioned, just said that she was never around.
Yeah.
So you find out where she was. She's not dead or anything. Spoiler alert, she's a nun. But It also
Perhaps helps explain his devout Catholicism.
Yeah. The Born Again plot, though, that's like halfway through the storyline, is all about Kingpin. Basically, Kingpin finds out that Matt Murdock is Daredevil, and absolutely, piece by piece, dismantles and undermines every single aspect of Matt Murdock's life without ever directly confronting him in order to make Matt Murdock go insane. His goal is to get Matt Murdock to kill somebody and get him arrested.
Okay.
And have him exposed to the public as Daredevil, and have both real life person Matt Murdock and his persona Daredevil,
and by extension any other potential heroes.
Yeah, to just have his image completely tarnished in the media and stuff. And he doesn't kill anybody, but he makes him go fucking insane. And like he has him disbarred. He loses.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like a logical step.
Yep, has him disbarred, almost arrested for paying people for testimonies, which doesn't hold up in the court case, but he is still disbarred for it. And he has his apartment complex. He buys it and then evicts everybody, including Matt, and forecloses on it.
There is even a little bit of foreshadowing on that when Jessica says, "How's a pro bono lawyer like you afford a apartment like this?"
Yep, forecloses on his apartment. Forecloses on where the office is, so the office gets completely shut down. So he becomes 100% homeless.
Whew.
There's some weird stuff in the plot that I'm sure we won't get, where Karen Page gets addicted to heroin and goes to Mexico and starts filming porno movies.
Yeah, probably won't see much of that.
Yeah, I hope not.
That doesn't seem within the character of the Netflix version of Karen Page.
Yeah. And we also, or what else does he do? I don't know, man. He does a bunch more shit, but it's really cool. He fucking dismantles it piece by piece, and then finally there's a big confrontation. Kingpin's men get the upper hand and just beat him fucking unconscious, and he tells him to go dump him in the East River.
Okay.
And then he wakes up in that convent, and then Kingpin, there's a cool fucking moment where, because like throughout the whole series, Kingpin has the upper hand, and the next morning he's reading the newspaper, and he's just like, as he's looking at the newspaper, he says to himself, he's like, there's no body found. And his men are like, what are you talking about, boss? He's like, there's no body, they never found a body.
Okay.
And he then loses his fucking mind, because he's like, holy shit, I've just made Daredevil crazy enough to fucking kill me.
And now no one knows where he is.
Yeah, and now I have no clue. Now he's just on the loose. So he's gonna kill me at any fucking moment. And it actually ends up making Kingpin go fucking nuts. It's a really cool, for the most part, storyline. So I think we'll definitely see some version of that play out. For sure seen a lot more about his mother. I think maybe instead of the Karen Page doing heroin and doing pornos, we'll find out more about what was hinted in season 2 about her sibling. Because we still haven't really had any answers to those questions.
Definitely.
But that might somehow tie into, because it's her doing heroin and filming pornos and being addicted that ends up, that's how she knows that Matt's Daredevil, and she sells that information to somebody for more heroin.
Okay, so you're thinking that maybe because of the this is what I'm thinking, because of the relationship that Matt has with Karen, he might
somehow
feel a personal responsibility if her like sibling is in danger or something like that.
Yeah, maybe her brother or whatever. Is it her brother? Is that what it was?
I think so.
And maybe her brother's introduced and inadvertently learns the identity and has no context and doesn't care about these people, and ends up being the one to sell the identity. I don't know. Or but also the scene where in season 2 where Kingpin is threatening Matt Murdock, I feel like there's some pretty heavy foreshadowing that Kingpin is already beginning to suspect that Daredevil is Matt Murdock. Right?
Yeah.
Like even in that sequence. So I don't know. But definitely I don't think they can do it without Kingpin. So I feel like it's a pretty fucking safe bet that we're going to get another full season of fucking Kingpin, which I cannot wait for.
I think that was always the intention.
Yeah. I don't want to see a single fucking ninja.
Your fucking ninjas out of my shit, man.
Give me one full season of Daredevil where there's never any ninjas and nobody says the hand And
Stick's dead, so
yeah, Elektra, we can find out what happens to her in Defenders 2 or her own Elektra series or Daredevil season 4.
man, I just don't give a shit about Elektra.
I fucking hate her, dude.
I can't believe I enjoyed Daredevil season 2 as much as I did because of how much in it that I just didn't give a shit about.
Dude, it was all about that first half with Punisher, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I want more Punisher.
You're gonna get more
Yeah,
Punisher.
Yeah, we're getting it.
When is it?
It comes out later this year, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Punisher is the last Netflix Marvel series this year, and then I think it's Jessica Jones early 2018.
Yeah. I think October is that for Punisher? Is that right?
I think November.
November?
No, yeah, it's definitely November.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the
Good.
podcast when that poster came out.
I just couldn't
He's
remember
gonna
when.
go like 1 batch, 2 batch, penny and dime. Red.
God, John Bernthal is such a good Punisher.
Joythini Berntol. I don't know what accent that was. That was a bad one.
That's fine.
I apologize
They're all
for that.
bad ones. It's just sometimes they're recognizable.
But yeah, I think that pretty much does. You guys have any other thoughts on Defenders?
I think they're gonna learn a lot of lessons from this, and Defenders season 2 is gonna up the stakes a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe with not ninjas.
Well, I think if they give them an actual like super villain, like maybe we see I don't know who among the rogues gallery between those 4 it would be, but I think if they give like a legitimate like villain with actual powers
Yeah.
that they wouldn't have to make Jessica Jones throw regular punches every now and again.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Like so I hope they learn those lessons. But I think
Right,
we'll get a
right.
Defender season 2. I've looked at the reviews. It's getting better reviews on Luke Cage or Iron Fist, and
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's doing really well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we always spend a lot of time with our complaints with things, but overall, I know all of us fucking loved it. It was fucking great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it quite a bit,
Yeah.
and it really cemented for me that if no one else, put Charlie Cox in a movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
And
You know, man,
Kristen Ritter,
seeing
though,
it, I
love
still have
her.
some hope. I don't know, that we might get some level of interaction there someday. Like, it would make sense for Defenders Season 2 to be dealing with the aftermath of whatever happens in the, if there's a period where the Avengers aren't around in New York,
Yeah.
or like aren't, in between Avengers 3 and 4, maybe it's their fate is left nebulous. Maybe they're stuck in space or whoever, and there's room for a season of Defenders in which they have to raise the stakes by like they are the Avengers for the time being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be a cool thing to do without even needing to actually have those characters interact, but have it be made evident that they are all part of the same universe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe we'll get something like that someday.
It's just they're in such close proximity to everybody else that it would be such a wasted opportunity to not have like, Nick Fury, like, I don't know, we're gonna need some backup, but I know a guy, and then we get that transition like to Queens with Spider-Man. You get a transition to Brooklyn, and
Yeah, it'd be fucking cool. We'll catch you guys next week for another Geek Out Freakout.
keep
And,
geeking, keep freaking,
keep freaking, smash it, give it a like,
bing that bell.
just get it, get the subscribe it.
Do it.
That was a great outro, guys.
I'm really proud of all of us.